So I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to do a couple of setup items for Scribus scrolling pages. If you have a bunch of text that you would like to put into Scribus and you would like to scroll it between a few pages, not just one but multiple different pages, then I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly, and I'm also going to show you how to put on a footer underneath so that it affects the text only on the pages that have an actual footer. So here's how that's going to work out. We've got some text here. This is just randomly generated lorem ipsum text from the internet. And you can see down here that it scrolls off the bottom of this text frame that I have. And I want it to go onto this text frame onto the next page. So all I have to do is I have to click on this one that I have selected. Now I'm going to then push in on my keyboard, and I'm going to click on the text frame on the next page. So it's in to connect the two of them, and you'll see that little X box has gone away and the rest of the text has come over here to this text box. But I have a problem because it does not have two columns on it. So I'm going to close this menu really quickly to show you how to bring it up. So I have this text box I want to be like this text box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push F2 to bring up the properties menu, and then inside the properties menu I'm going to go down to the text tab here, and I'm going to click on the columns and text distances. I'm going to create two columns, and I'm going to put 1 point text distance between the two of them so that it's now two columns on this page, same way that it's two columns on this page. So that's a really quick way to do the scrolling text so that it goes between the two, but we still have a problem. We don't have a footnote here, and we're going to have to create that. But I don't want to just go in here. I could do this. I could theoretically do that and then put in a text box, but I don't want to mess with that. I just want to put the footnote on whatever size it's going to be. I don't want to have to resize all of these and then go through and resize all of these and all that kind of stuff. I just want to have it work. So we're going to create a new text box that we're just going to put in here, and then we're going to size it appropriately for our purposes because we want it to cover this bottom part of the page here. And then we're going to put in our text. And again, this is just randomly generated lorem ipsum text that I'm going to put in. So I'm going to open up my text box. I'm going to paste the text that I have from the internet, just a bunch of random stuff here. Then I'm going to select all the text. I'm going to change the font to what I would like, which is some Liberation Sans regular there. And then I'm going to decrease the font size to 10, update it, make sure it looks like what I want it to look like in here, which it seems to indeed. And then I'm going to take this and increase it so that it actually fits the whole thing. And so then that's going to be my font for the bottom side. Now you'll notice there's lots of space between these lines, and there's a reason for that. If we open up our properties menu again and go back to our text box, you'll notice that the fixed line spacing is way too high. I'm going to bring that down to 11. You can bring it down to 10 because that's the size of the font, but I like to keep it just a little bit larger than the font to leave some space for people to read between the lines. You can do it probably 12 if you want to. I like 10, but I like 11 better. And then I don't want any columns here because I want it to kind of run across the bottom of the page, but I do want it to be in a box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to line and look at it. It says, okay, it's a straight line. It's 1 point width, good, that's what I want. I want it to be a miter join, that's fine. Then I'm going to go down to the colors. Now the default's going to be set to this one right here, which is the background. I'm just going to click on the line tool, and I'm going to give it a black line. Okay. Now if I click off of that, you'll see that it's way too close on the left, way too close on the top. There's two different things we have to do to take care of that. So inside our properties menu again, we're going to click on text, and we're going to go first line offset line spacing. So now it's going to space itself out just like the line spacing between the lines. It's going to space itself from the top, and that's going to look fine. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to columns and text distances. I'm going to leave the columns at 1 this time, but I'm going to put the left up to about 0.4 just to give it a nice space away from the left side. And then if you are particular and you want to make sure that it stays away from the right side, you can do that one for 2. And then I'm just going to pull the bottom of the box up to where I want it to be right there so that it looks nice and neat and contained. Don't worry, those gray lines will go away. I just have my text frame showing right now so that you can see the column lines and things like that. Now I'm going to grab this and I'm going to put it on the bottom of the page where it is relevant. But I run into a problem because now all of a sudden I have this overwriting the other stuff that's there. That is not what I want. So again, in the properties menu, push F2 to bring up the properties menu. I'm going to go to the shape tab. I'm going to say use frame shape, and voila, you see it readjusts the text around it so that it is spaced away from the actual footnote text. And then you might be thinking, well, that's great. What if it just like got rid of the text or something like that? Well, it doesn't. I'll move it off. You see the text goes back, and then I'll move it on, and the text gets pushed down to the next section. Now this can be tricky if you have a footnote that is right towards the bottom of a page and you put the footnote on and then you don't know where it ends up when it starts getting moved around. You do want to work from the front toward the back with these just to make sure that you have them all covered properly so that they look nice and neat in the way that they are supposed to. And that's all for that. I'll go up here and do a preview mode just to show what it looks like on the page itself. And there you have it.